Jadon Sancho makes Bundesliga history as Manchester United and Newcastle set for fresh battle. The latest news and headlines from Old Trafford, with Man United continuing to put their revamped structure in place following investment from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Manchester United dropped more points in their fading charge for European qualification on Saturday afternoon when they were pegged back by relegation-threatened Burnley. A penalty from Zeki Amdouni grabbed Burnley a point at the end to cancel out an opener from United forward Antony. Onana gave away the spot kick at Old Trafford as United remained 6th in the Premier League standings and 1 point above Newcastle United in 7th position with 4 games to go. United are now unable to snatch a top-4 finish, with Aston Villa and Tottenham still fighting it out up there. With investment from Ineos founder Sir Jim Ratcliffe now formalised, there have been sweeping changes behind the scenes already, and further alterations, on and off the pitch, are a given this summer. Here, we take a glimpse at the latest headlines from Old Trafford and beyond. Sancho makes Bundesliga history as Kane watches on. Jadon Sancho etched his name into Bundesliga history on Saturday afternoon, even though his goal for Borussia Dortmund came in a losing cause. Dortmund were humbled 4-1 at the Red Bull Arena. It was a bittersweet game for Sancho, though, as he became the highest ever English scorer in that competition. Sancho, who returned to Germany on loan in the January transfer window, scored his 40th goal in the Bundesliga to go beyond former Arsenal and Nottingham Forest winger Tony Woodcock. England captain Harry Kane might need limited time to rewrite the history books once again, but for Sancho the milestone is something to celebrate after what has been a forgettable season. The 23-year-old faces an uncertain future at Old Trafford this summer after being discarded after his public spat with Erik ten Hag. The Manchester Evening News says, Sancho seems more comfortable back at Dortmund, and that's been shining through with his recent form. It's a shame things never quite worked out for him at Old Trafford, but his good form can only be a good thing, and it might help increase the fee United can demand for him come the summer. United and Newcastle set for another boardroom battle. United and Newcastle might be poised for another battle behind the scenes. Dan Ashworth is on gardening leave, with the transfer supremo identified as a primary target to become the inaugural sporting director at Old Trafford. Newcastle are thought to be eyeing up Dougie Freedman, who holds a similar position at Crystal Palace, as one potential replacement for Ashworth as and when a compensation package is agreed for him to join United in their revamped structure under Ineos Group. But there is another concern for the Magpies. Reports from the Daily Mail suggest that Freedman is a man in demand, with United also exploring the possibility of bringing him to the club in addition to Ashworth. Ineos Group have already made several key appointments to bolster their operations, such as CEO Omar Barada and Jason Wilcox as technical director. The Manchester Evening News says, now that would add insult to injury for Newcastle. Freedman was among several names linked with United when investment from Ineos Group was going through the final stages, and the work he has done at Selhurst Park makes Freedman an interesting proposition. However, with him operating in the same role as Ashworth, there would seemingly have to be a change in his duties. With the top job almost certain to be going at Newcastle, and discussions between them and Freedman said to be in the final stages, there might have to be a mighty U-turn for United to prize another highly regarded transfer figure away. It might be that Freedman is viewed as an alternative rather than addition to the ranks. Borussia Dortmund will move from Man United's Jadon Sancho, on one condition, and other rumours. Man United winger Jadon Sancho seemed destined to be leaving Old Trafford in Erik ten Hag remains in post next season, but his exit has now been complicated. Manchester United winger Jadon Sancho's future at the club may hinge on Borussia Dortmund's qualification for next season's Champions League. Sancho has been exiled from the first-team squad since September after a public fallout with Erik ten Hag. After the manager explained why the 24-year-old had been left out of the squad to face Arsenal, the Englishman declared himself to be a scapegoat on social media. He then insinuated that ten Hag was lying about his training performances, which were given as the reason for him being dropped. Having not been featured at all since his exile, the forward was sent on loan to Dortmund in January. Sancho scored his third goal of his loan stint this weekend as his team lost 4-1 in the Bundesliga to RB Leipzig. However, it is unclear whether the winger will be snapped up by Dortmund if he becomes available in the summer. According to journalist Fabrizio Romano, Dortmund are not guaranteed to move for Sancho unless they qualify for next season's Champions League. This is because the finances surrounding the purchase could only be justified for the German club if they are in the elite European competition. Talks are currently being delayed as Dortmund focus on the Champions League semi-finals versus PSG, which starts this week. Elsewhere, Court Offside reports that United, Arsenal and Liverpool are all interested in Brighton and Hove Albion's midfielder Carlos Baleba. The 20-year-old defensive midfielder only moved to Sussex from Lille at the beginning of the season. However, he has made 23 Premier League appearances this season and has been a regular starter for Roberto De Zerbi since the start of March. Despite him being a new recruit, the report claims the Seagulls are ready to entertain offers of around £55 million for their player. Manchester United targeting 2 signings in summer transfer window to solve 10-year problem. With 3 centre-backs possibly among the outgoings this summer, Man United want 2 new centre-backs. Manchester United are eyeing 2 central defensive signings in the summer transfer window. Everton defender Gerard Branthwaite and Edmund Tapsoba of Bayer Leverkusen are among the centre-backs United have tracked to address their porous defence. United have sieved 51 goals in the Premier League this season and used 28 different back fours across their 47 fixtures. 3 centre-backs could also leave in the summer. Raphael Varane and Johnny Evans are approaching the final 2 months of their contract and Victor Lindelof's deal expires next year. The trio are currently sidelined through injury, but United have indicated all 3 are expected to play again this season. Branthwaite, 21, has earned plaudits for his performances this season and he was named in the England squad for the first time last month. Tapsoba, 25, has played an integral role in Bayer Leverkusen's first ever Bundesliga win. Leverkusen have operated with a back 3 under coach Xabi Alonso. United have failed to settle on a long-term defensive axis since Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic left in the same summer in 2014. Varane and Lisandro Martinez showed promise last season, but both have been beset by injury. Harry Maguire has impressed this season after United accepted a £30 million offer to sign him from West Ham in August. Maguire, 31, is about to enter the final year of his contract, but United have the option of an additional year. Lindelof, 29, joined United from Benfica in 2017 for a fee rising to £39 million. Unless he plays in 3 of United's 5 remaining games, this will be only the 2nd season the Swede has failed to break the 30-game barrier. United are also expected to listen to offers for right-back Aaron Wan-Bissaka, whose contract runs out in 2025. Wan-Bissaka has started the past 8 games as he and Diogo Dalot are the only senior full-backs available to manager Erik ten Hag. Man United plot double Bayer Leverkusen raid. Red Devils monitoring Jeremy Frimpong and Edmund Tapsoba to boost Erik ten Hag's defence. Manchester United are eyeing a move for Bayer Leverkusen duo Jeremy Frimpong and Edmund Tapsoba to bolster their defence. The Red Devils are planning a double Bayer Leverkusen raid in the summer of 2024 as they plan to sign their defensive duo Frimpong and Tapsoba, according to Manchester Evening News. Both defenders recently signed new deals with the club and their contracts run until June 2028. The Red Devils were linked with a move for right fullback Frimpong last summer, but they did not place a formal bid eventually after Aaron Wan-Bissaka showed improvement in his performance midway into the 2022-23 season and Diogo Dalot agreed to sign a new contract. With speculations regarding